Brenda, do you have a question or comment?
Hi, Dr. Stan and Bob. Is it okay to have some money in a market account? And also, is it best to have gold stock?
All right, fine. Two questions. Is it bad to have money in a money market fund? Is it bad to have gold stocks? Okay, are those questions?
A money market account.
Money market account. Okay, Bob.
Well, I heard a comment by the man that runs Blackstone today, and he said that what really concerns him is the state of money market accounts. And I heard it also from another major firm. And the government has said for a 2-year period, which maybe a year is over by now, whether they'll renew that or not, but they said that they would guarantee the deposits. I still don't trust it. I tell people who are subscribers to keep enough money in a bank account for operating expenses in your daily life for a maximum of 6 months. No CDs and no money market funds. Take the rest of it that's excess of that. Let's say that your costs run $3,000 a month. You maybe have $18,000 in a checking account. And if you got $118,000, well, you want to take $100,000 out. And gold stocks are a good place to go, as are gold and silver coins.
Okay, anything else, Brenda?
And incidentally, when people want help with those things, all you have to do is email us, and we'll tell you what we think you ought to do. We don't charge for that. All we ask is that people subscribe.
Okay, Brenda?
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. And let's go to Joss, who's calling us from Tennessee. Hi, Joss. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
My question is, in the whole scheme of the New World Order and the fact that the elites are attempting to destroy the world economies and the currencies, how is it that they are going to benefit from a world currency?
All right, fine. That's a very good question.
The benefit is the control of the people. And you'll have one bank, one currency, and that takes away the sovereignty of every single nation involved. The running of your economy is taken from you.
And of course,
that's what they're after.
Those who issue the money control the nation. That's what it's about. Control the individual, control everything. As Lord Rothschild said, let me issue the money, and I care not who makes the laws. I think that, of course, the major issues are going to be the Rockefellers, and maybe with the Rothschilds and a few of the other elitists when this whole thing comes down. But at least according to a recent issue of Foreign Affairs magazine, I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before that, they were talking about a privately issued gold-backed currency for the whole world. And believe me, they're the ones, the elitists are going to be the ones who are going to be issuing it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
Anything else?
That's all.
God bless. Okay, let's go to Jim, who's calling from Columbia, South Carolina. Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. I'd like to thank both of you for your work. And my question is, what happens to the gold price per ounce if they change currencies?
All right, what happens to gold price per ounce if they change currencies?
Well, I think gold would already have anticipated such a disastrous scenario, and so it would have preceded the devaluation and default of any currency, and that's what it's been doing for about 4.5 years. Gold has been going up against every currency in the world, because they're all fiat, with the exception of the euro, which is semi-fiat. They had 15% backing with gold, now they got about 7%. Or until they come out with better figures than they've got, that's where I'll guess it is. But other than that, they're fiat. So gold's been going up against them, and that will continue. So what gold is saying is that your currency's values are worth less every day, at least over the last 4.5 years. And so gold's going to continue to reflect that. Now, the only thing that we have that's been going on, which is unusual, is the United States government manipulating all markets, gold and silver included. Now, where should gold be today? Gold should be about $2,000 an ounce minimum. So the people today who can buy gold at these prices are essentially getting it extraordinarily cheap because of this unusual suppression that can't last indefinitely. Sooner or later, gold's going to explode. In fact, in the next 3 months, by the end of April, I think it'll be somewhere between $1,100 and $1,700 an ounce. And if I'm right, that will be reflecting some of the inflation since 1980. But I think that you're going to see gold go to much higher prices than that because the financial system is going to start to crumble, which it already has begun, and it'll go on for a while, a year or 2 or 3 or whatever it is, and maybe gold will go to $6,000. But it's the only place to be besides silver, and we're going to get hyperinflation first, and then we're going to get depression in the form of devaluation. I believe depression has already begun last week.
Okay, anything else?
So then you're saying it's going to precede it by going up in value against the dollar, and then it'll stay there when they change currencies? It'll stay at that value
it'll either
based on
stay
that currency
there or go higher. And even if it came down, let's say it went to $3,000 an ounce, and let's say it dropped $600 to $2,400. That's a 20% drop. It would be inconsequential. This is hypothetical.
Right.
It would be inconsequential because everything else would be down between 60 and 90%. That was our experience during the 1930s, and this is 5 times worse than that.
Right.
We're in for
I
a
just was wondering if it was a good idea, maybe right before they switch currencies, if there's any way of predicting it, to sell the gold and be in the old currency when it switches over.
No.
Is there any argument for that?
We're not that smart.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much, Jim. Bye-bye. And you try to play games in this whole situation. You try to outsmart them, you lose because they're a lot smarter than we are. They've got supernatural intelligence behind them. Supernatural evil intelligence. Thanks very much. Let's go to Mike calling from Santa Cruz. Again, our number 1-888-24-LIBERTY, 1-888-24-LIBERTY, or 464-8295. Hi, Mike. How are we doing?
Hi, Stan. Back to the discussion about foreign countries buying treasury bonds. I just had one question. Are these countries buying these bonds from the Federal Reserve or from the Treasury?
Usually from the Treasury. They might buy them in the market as well, but usually they'll buy them from the U.S. Treasury.
Okay.
Anything else, Mike?
Oh, thanks a lot.
All right, very good. Well, we answered all the questions here. I appreciate that. And we're in for the most difficult times that I've ever lived through, and I think any of the rest of us have. And there are a lot of people, a lot smarter than I am, are saying exactly the same thing. And this is not going to get well. Later this year or in the year 2010, they're talking about this thing's going to go on for 5 to 10 or more years. What are your thoughts, Bob?
Well, I think the carnage in all aspects, and that includes housing and commercial real estate, the bankruptcy of banks, brokerage firms, insurance companies, corporations, the debt that's being heaped upon the American people to bail out the wealthy. That is going to go on probably for anywhere between a year and a half to 5 years, and finally bottom will be hit. And I think after that, we're going to go a minimum of 8 years, and maybe as much as 20 years, bumping along the bottom. And that is if we do not have another world war and that we do not have a revolution.
Well, neither one of them are very good things to have, and the tragedy is that I believe that, of course, the other side is manipulating everything, and they want it, of course. They would love to have civil unrest so they could justify their concentration camps. That's why they're bringing the military, some of the units, home here to be used against the American people. If you haven't heard my talk on the planned police state and see the syllabus, you need to get it.